Hey everybody, Christopher Nejman. I'm back again with my PC 6000 by Brother. Yes, and some of you veterans out there remember this technique. This was really big. They were doing a lot of this on PBS sewing shows in the 90s and 2000s. I think it was the early 2000s they were doing a lot of this. It was really big, the sewing shows. And wow, so let me just show you what I got going on here. I've got purple thread on top. It's just that cheap Walmart thread just for testing here. And I've got something special on the bottom. So you want to see what I got? Look at this. You ready? Whoa, look how beautiful that is. Look at that. You want to know how I did it? Hey newbies, you want to know how to do this? Veterans, you already know how. But this would be a nice thing to watch to remember in case some of you veterans had put this thought away or this idea away. Look at that. Stay with me. I'm going to show you how to do this. Don't go away. I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back everybody. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am on the floor underneath my sewing table. And this whole bin here is full of fancy, heavier yarn for sewing. If you look in here, this is called, this is by YLI, and this is metallic yarn. It's called, it's Candlelight is the brand name. It comes in all different, look at that glitter. Then there's variegated, there's solid, and this solid is, well, that's a jean stitch thread. This silver here by YLI, that's Candlelight. Go to my next bin up here. Ooh, we got more. Whew. Oh, here we go. Yes. Yes. Candlelight, metallic yarn. We've got Pearl Cotton by YLI. Here's another variegated, very pretty. That's YLI Pearl Cotton, Pearl Crown Rayon. This is pretty Christmas one. There's this one here by Success Serging Yarn. So these were actually created for serging, but we use them for bobbin work. Now let's see what else I have. What's in this one? Oh boy, look at this! Look what I have here. This is by Madeira. It's called Decor by Madeira. And it is, well, you can read all that, but what it is, it's a nice rayon yarn that looks beautiful for when you're doing serging. It's got a nice sheen to it, as you can see that sheen. It's great for serging. It's great for bobbin work. I bought a ton of it. One year Nancy's Notions had this on sale, and it was such a discount price I couldn't reduce it, so I think I bought it all. Yeah. So, and then here's this. I found this at Joann Fabrics. I've used this in the serger. It's great. Look at that. Beautiful for the serger. The Madeira. Madeira has these packets you can buy. More packets of the yarn, metallic yarn for bobbin work and serging. Here's a little one by Madeira. This is like a ribbon. And that's great to use. Now what else do I have up here? Oh, I have all of these. Look at all this here. Look at this. These are by Madeira. This is Madeira Glamour Thread. This is great for bobbin work and great for serging also. Great for serging also. Wait a minute, there's one more. Look at this. Oh, look at this. What is this? What are these? King Tut Superior. Boy. Oh, who's this? Who's this? Razzle Dazzle by Ricky Timms. Look at that. I got a lot of Ricky Timms here. Look at that. Look how pretty. This is Razzle Dazzle. This is very much like the YLI and like the Madeira. It's all decorative yarn. They use, like I said, they use this for in your serger and your upper looper, or you can use it for bobbin work, which is what I'm going to show you today. So here's a pretty one here, variegated. This is new, tighter twists. Which one? This is, they said this is use a top stitch needle. This is top stitching. All right, what's this one here? Another one. So there are so many choices out there, guys. And let me be a disclaimer. Everything you see here, I've been collecting for almost 20 years. Almost 20 years. Look at this beautiful ribbon. That looks nice when you do it also. This here. So let me take you back to my sewing machine. I'm going to show you how to set this up so you can get that beautiful look. So on my Brother machine, it takes a class 66 bobbin. And on your machine, use whatever bobbin that comes with your machine, the size is supposed to be used. Now, on my other machines that take a class 15 bobbin, I've also used metallic bobbins. But check with your machine, because some of your machines have different heights of bobbins. So you want to check with that. You know, don't do something because I said, oh, my machine does this. Check with your machine. Every manufacturer, especially these newer machines, they're tweaking these bobbins. So I would use the plastic bobbin that comes with it unless there is a specific metallic metal bobbin for it. And so you just wrap this yarn on your bobbin. If you're really good at your machine, you can manipulate your automatic bobbin winder to wind it on here. But otherwise, I would wind them by hand. Look how pretty this black is. Isn't it beautiful? Okay, so here's the deal. This is what we do. Let me pull this out here. Let me set my camera up on a tripod. All right, here we go. All right, so this is for the newbies. You know, the newbies that want to know how to do this kind of work. The veterans already know how to do all this. So this is just a crash course for the newbies to know how. All right, so here's a metal bobbin that I'm using. I found a class 66 metal bobbin that works great. I like using the metal bobbins because they're heavier. Now what you do is you drop your bobbin in, but you do not pull it through the normal thread path. You bypass it. And what you're going to do is you're just going to bring that yarn up without putting it through the tension area of the bobbin. Does that make sense? For one thing, it's too heavy. Unless you get a bobbin case, buy a separate bobbin case where you can adjust the bobbin case to be really loose. But I found success in these older machines like this where I don't need a special bobbin case, as you just saw with what I sewed here. See? Now, normally what you do is, so this is what it is you're sewing upside down, all right? This is the bottom. And this would be, I'm sorry, this is the top. This is the top of the fabric, and this would be the back of the fabric, okay? And then you can use a matching thread for whatever yarn you're using. But a lot of people do this in quilting when they're doing crazy quilting. I've done pillows with it, crazy quilted pillows and things, and you follow the seam line. You would follow the seam line of a pillow. I'll pull up a picture later on and show you some of my work so you can see the decorative yarn for bobbin work. Now, if you're doing like a really pretty type, let's see, like a dining room tablecloth, and you want this along the border, so you would actually hem it first. You do a hem, and then, of course, this would be the bottom of your border. So you can follow a guide. You can follow a guide on your sewing machine, seam guide, and just follow that seam guide all the way down and around your whole tablecloth, and when you're done, you'll have this. Now listen, this doesn't go very far. So you're just going to have to stop with a needle in a down position and keep peeking to see how much thread is in there. So chances are that you're not going to be able to go around the whole tablecloth on one bobbin fill. So you'll probably get one length, depends how big your table is, and then you'll have to piece it together. In other words, when you see you're going to run out, stop at the end of one of the stitches, and then take the yarn and pull it to the back. And then when you fill the yarn up in the bobbin for a new one, then you want to start where you left off, so it's almost seamless. Okay, so let me just demonstrate this to you one more time. So what I'm going to do is I've selected, I'll show you. Let me do a different stitch for you here. Let me see here. Let me go to the beginning here. All right, so let's see. What stitch do I want to try? Well, that's a pretty stitch right there. So now we want to override it, and we want to make it the widest it'll go, and the longest that it'll go. So the longest here, it says, the longest here is, I'm trying to get the glare out of the way for you guys. The longest is 4.0 and the widest is 7.0. Okay, so let me get this back over here and get this back on my tripod. There we go. All right, so remember, now here's the yarn, here's the top thread. You can use any color top thread you want. I've even used invisible thread when I've done this because I didn't want any thread showing on the front. You can see on this, it just adds a little, you can barely tell, but that little speck of purple really gives that blue a really nice look. Blue and purple always go good together. So now let's just get all this yarn out of the way and let me sew. Oh, I need to change my foot to a satin stitch foot. And that's another thing you want is a satin stitch foot because you're going to have a lot of buildup of thread. There's going to be a heavy buildup of that yarn under there, and you want it to pass underneath with no problem. And that's what the satin stitch will help with that. So let's get the satin stitch on here. Satin stitch foot. All right, and whoops. Let me get my foot over here. Actually, I can't get my foot with the tripod, so I'll just use the start and stop button here. I'll just use my start and stop button. All right, here we go. It's such a fun technique, and this has been around for a long time. It was real popular like in the 90s and the early 2000s. This was real popular. All the sewing shows on PBS, they were all doing this. And then I guess with everything, a fad goes away. But I did a lot of classes with pillows for piecing where this was featured. All right, that'll be enough. All right, so now I'm going to lift this up. I wouldn't use your scissor cutter. If you've got a built-in scissor cutter, I wouldn't use your scissor cutter for this. Make sure you pull enough out of the yarn so you can take a needle and thread and then pull it to the back. Sometimes you can even pull it to the back by pulling this. There we go. And then, yeah, there we go. See, I can pull it to the back. And then just tie it off. Tie it off. There. So when you turn it over, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Wow. Wow. You know what? I'm going to stop here. I'm going to stop this video here. And this is just going to be a teaser because I'll address some more of this later. I'll do another video showing you some more later. But let this wet your whistle for now. All right? So look online where you get all that thread. I showed you what the thread's called in the video. Look it up online. Do a Google search. You can find it on your own. Visit your local sewing machine store. See if they carry it. It's still out there. There might be different types up out there, but it is a serger yarn. It is a decorative yarn for serging. So some pearl cottons work nice, but see how thin it is? It's thicker than regular thread. Here's regular thread. Let me show you the regular thread. So here's your regular thread, and here's the serger yarn. Now, here's what I tell everybody when I'm using this for serging, because they say, well, can I use regular yarn that you knit with and this and that? So here's my suggestion. If it can fit through the upper looper of your serger, then use it. If you can't fit it through the upper loop of your serger successfully, and you'll have to use like a wire to pull it through, but if it doesn't pull through the hole easily, don't use it. Now this is just this candlelight yarn, serger yarn, and the Ricky Tim's Razzle Dazzle. This is a perfect size to use for the bobbin. Let me show you this one more time. Isn't that beautiful? Now, can you think of some projects you'd want to put this on? Placemats, napkins, your tablecloth, the bottom of a little girl's dress, around the collar that you made on your shirt. Isn't that something? Boy, I could just see so many creative things for this. You can run this down the lapel of your button-down blouse that you made or shirt. I mean, there's so many things you can use for this. And the greatest thing that you can show off your decorative stitching and stuff is on a garment that you made that you can wear when you go out, right? All right, so I'll do more videos in the future, but this is enough to wet your whistle. This is enough to wet your whistle. All the different colors you can use. Boy, different. Can you imagine the gold and the opal color on black fabric? Oh my gosh. The possibilities are endless. But you want to make sure whatever stitch you use, it's a very open stitch. The stitch is very wide and open. And then you want to make it the longest and widest when you do this. And then so slow when you do it. All right, I'll talk to you later, everybody. Have a good day. Be safe. Wear your mask, okay? Love you all. God bless. Bye.